Derek, why is the dollar rallying now when everybody is suggesting the Fed is not going to be raising interest rates anytime soon?
Well, I think if you look at the projections that the Fed gave last week, there wasn't a huge change in the story. In other words, bar the fact that they didn't go in September, what they are estimating in terms of rate increases for 2016 and 2017 was pretty much unchanged. So the entire curve just shifted lower by 25 basis points. And of course, since the meeting, we've had a stream of Fed presidents come out and pretty much reinforce the prospect that we will get that first rate increase this year. So I think the market's takeaway is that, well, not a whole lot has changed, and the fundamental story in the US still very much justifies some Fed action this year.
Well, the euro is falling today for another day, 111.61 right now. The idea that the Fed would raise rates is probably Mario Draghi's fondest hope.
It is, but I think also the rhetoric that we've had from ECB members over the last week or so is also pretty important. Now, of course, if you recall back before the Fed left rates on hold, the euro seemed to be trading as a risk-off currency, so rising when equity markets were falling. And I think the Draghi press conference from his most recent monetary policy meeting and the rhetoric we're getting from the ECB is beginning to change that dynamic. And when we have bad market days like today, the euro is actually looking softer, and that's because of the increased prospect that perhaps the ECB will seriously consider extending quantitative easing.
If there were one currency pair that you were watching to tell us the story of what's going to happen around the world with all this news breaking and confusion about what's going to happen, what would it be?
Well, I think a good one is perhaps euro-yen. I certainly look at the Japanese yen, and because of the BOJ's stance, which is looking a bit ambivalent compared to everywhere else, that it's beginning to take on a risk type characteristic. So euro-yen volatility and in particular euro-yen declines is a clear signal that investors are increasingly concerned.
I strongly agree with that. Derek Halpenny, thank you so much.